The State Department of Children's Services takes a 5-year-old boy with autism away from his family. And now his family is calling that child's time in foster care a disaster.
Now, the boy was in 22 different homes in 100 days. Here's our Dennis Ferrier with tonight's Fox 17 News investigation.
Fix Eddie a hamburger. Here.
When we met the Floyd family in their Cannon County home,
here's your Dr. Pepper soda.
6-year-old Matthew took over.
We only have ice cream.
He wanted to show us everything.
Hi, I'm Matthew, reporting for Fox News.
It's like little Matthew has never met a stranger. But that's not true. Matthew has met lots of strangers.
All he wanted was to come home. He wanted mom and daddy. He was scared. He wanted mom and daddy. They wouldn't bring him back.
Oh! Did you see that?
22 different places in 100 days. How did this happen? DCS came into the Floyd home over their 2 teenage daughters after a call from school and then a home visit. They took the girls and also took Matthew and put them all in foster care.
And look in here.
They separated Matthew from his sisters. It did not go well.
And he was just from home to home to home to home to home 22 times because nobody could handle him, because he's ADHD, high functioning, level 2 autism with Asperger syndrome component and chromosome abnormalities.
You should know the Floyds adopted those teenage girls at 2 and 3 years old and Matthew at 3 weeks old.
It cost us over $15,000 to adopt all 3 kids. If we didn't love them, didn't want them, why would we put out that kind of money to adopt?
If you think this is just DCS's word against the Floyds, that's not true. Listen to the juvenile judge in the case. Although he said there was good reason to initially remove the children from the home, he says what happened afterwards is unacceptable. The department had a continuing duty to make reasonable efforts to make it possible for the child to return home. Such efforts were not met as it relates to Matthew. Matthew did not receive physical therapy, occupational therapy, neurological appointments, ENT appointments. This case is indicative of a comprehensive failure of the system as a whole, unquote. Matthew was returned to his parents, where he remains under a trial reunification.
So they used that against me to retaliate.
Oh, they did. Matthew's caseworker, Jessica Lana, praised by the judge, says she was fired over this case by Stepstone, a DCS partner, for complaining too much about the lack of services for Matthew.
They don't do anything that their own policies stipulate. So they're not checking in on these kids. It's just out of sight, out of mind kind of situation. And that's happened with a lot of children, a lot of them.
Not just Matthew.
No, not just Matthew.
Remember, DCS got out of a lawsuit in 2015 because it agreed to do things differently. But here we are 11 years later. Did DCS keep any of its promises to Matthew?
Oh, Miss Connie!
Connie Reguly, longtime DCS critic.
And there are some critical things in there, such as a foster child's not to be more than 75 miles away from his home. There's not to be more than 3 foster kids in a home. They're supposed to have visits, monthly visits with the parents. Siblings are supposed to be placed together. I mean, here we are 11 years later, and none of those things were put in place for this child.
So what does DCS have to say about this? Nothing. They cite state law as a reason to not defend their actions. It's actually a misdemeanor to comment.
Dad knows how to do that.
But in this case, the judge, the guardian ad litem, the caseworker, the family will all tell you DCS did not serve this child.
How do you do that to children? How do you put them in harm's way like that?
This is every day. There is zero accountability.
Get your truck.
Is Matthew better off with his parents? Just look at the video of the day he got out of his foster care nightmare.
You ready to go home?
Yeah!
Matthew has been home for almost a year now, but it is still on a trial basis, so this isn't over. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.